So I'm back at Shin-Sekai. I walked through here last evening. It was about 5:15. There weren't many shops open. And I went to the little arcade that is supposed to have some shops, and there was hardly anything open there either. I did look it up afterwards because I was curious about this area. It seems a little downtrodden. And what it said on Wikipedia was that it was built in 1912, and I think it only operated till 1925. This north half I'm walking through is supposed to be modeled on Paris, and the southern half on New York. And then I think they remodeled this tower. It used to be more pagoda-like in the I think in the 50s it was remodeled. 1956, I want to say. They have some pictures of it here that we can look at. And then it was saying too that this area had a lot of homeless men, older homeless men, and criminal activity. I don't know if it'll be worth it to go up the observation tower today or not. See what the weather does. So I walked down this way before, but you know what? I think what I'll do is walk down the other alleyway that didn't have many shops open yesterday. Maybe there's more today, being a weekend. I think it was this way. Oh yeah, it was this way, that's right. I should have veered off back up there. Can walk this way though. Let's see, is this a dead end? And then it said there was an amusement park that opened here and tried to compete. It lasted, I think, a while until they opened up Universal Studios. And then it kind of died. Couldn't compete with Universal Studios in the early 2000s. It closed maybe like late 2000s, I want to say. Universal Studios, I think, opened like 2001 or 2, something like that. Yeah, here's the other market here. We'll come back out on that main street. So I was hoping I get to see a few more of these shops open. It also said there's a transvestite population that hangs out around here, and it's known as like the highest crime area in Osaka, but maybe that had more to do. Yeah, it's the Shin-Sekai market. Maybe that had more to do with doesn't look like many more shops are open here. It's real funny, I don't know, maybe they only open in the evening or what. But when I walked through here yesterday, it was kind of about the same. Not a lot of shops open. So it seems like this whole area is a little passé. Anyway, I think they opened today with the Van Gogh exhibit over here at the Osaka City Museum of Fine Art. So I'm going to do that and then go over to see if I can catch that sightseeing bus. It's a good day to do the sightseeing bus. since it's so hot and humid here, I like doing that kind of stuff on an overcast day. You're not going to be baking alive on the top of the bus. Plus, you can take photos without glare. I would like to go up here for the view, but I'd like to time it so that it goes from day to night as well. I was just texting back and forth with one of the guys from the international party. Met a guy actually who's living here from the States, and he speaks both Chinese and Japanese. He had worked there and then in Shanghai in China, and then came here to Osaka. And I think he goes to a lot of those international parties. I'd gone to a couple of them in Tokyo, and they're real weird. I think you see the same girls there, and he went home with a girl from the party. She wasn't all that cute, and I thought, And then I talked to a woman who was a little older, who seemed a little more interesting, although her breath smelled horrible. That's one of the things you kind of have to put up with in Asia. And like right away she's like, "Are you serious about marriage and all this stuff?" I'm like, oh my god. It was very aggravating. So you either go like one of two routes. You do it the guy at the party did, and he's like, yeah, we went right back to her place, and you know, he'll probably never see her again, or I don't know if he does, but very casual. Or like they're like, I want to talk about marriage, and I'm like, I want to be up at 7 a.m. tomorrow to go sightseeing. So they were all going to karaoke, and I was like, I can't go to karaoke. I can't take the cigarette smoke. It's bad enough in a club, everybody's drinking, and then you go to karaoke and you're in this little room usually, and everyone really starts fiendishly smoking cigarettes. It's pretty gross. So yeah, I'll go in the museum to see the Van Gogh exhibit, and then I'll decide after that if I want to continue on and try for doing something back up towards Namba or going on the sightseeing bus. This is Yokozuna, where I had the kushikatsu meat sticks. So if you walk out this gate here, it brings you to the zoo. And if you stay on the ground level, you go into the zoo. And if you walk up the stairs, you go over a bridge that goes into Tennoji Park to the museum. It's weird, I don't know why they have the Shin-Sekai thing, like Shin-Sekai. I think it means New World. I guess Shin-Sekai is more like sinning and place for vice. A little odd. You can see it's a 1980s style graphic. I think that's when this area got a very bad reputation, probably. Yeah, that's what it struck me as, with the style of it, as kind of like an 80s heyday place when people were much more into destination type travel, about hanging out and not doing a whole lot. Now with smartphones, it's a little easier. So this is the Van Gogh exhibit that's open today. When I came by yesterday, it was closed, and they had the lower portion of the museum open with some, like, citizens gallery paintings and calligraphy. There's a Bino Harakas, that's the other observation platform. They say it's the tallest building in Japan. It's 300 meters, but it's nowhere near as tall as, Skytree, which is 634 meters. But that's a structure, supposedly. From a tourist perspective, I don't make such designations because there's the International Council on Tall Buildings, and they have all sorts of rankings. Highest occupied floor, blah, blah, blah. But more what I'm concerned with as a tourist is like, well, how high is the building itself? Because structurally that's fascinating, And then, how high can I go to get to the observatory? So I did both the Hancock and the Willis Towers in Chicago. Yeah, I was debating whether I should have stayed in the Namba area at that melon house, which is notorious. I would have been able to walk to all the nightlife last night. Wouldn't have had to drunkenly take. It's about a 20-minute walk, 25-minute walk from the nightlife areas to my apartment, whereas it would have been a 10-minute walk maybe. That's a big difference at night, and it's just a few blocks in the same neighborhood. Where the other house was, but it was just really weird the way they had it set up with you had to have you had to shower on the roof. It used to be coin operated, I read, and it was very weird. They said, when I asked them, they're like, no, we took the coin box away now. And I thought, oh, okay. And they wanted utilities, to charge for. And I thought, it's going to be so hot, I'm going to want to run the AC. I don't want to be policing myself about it. As it is, I turn it off because the place I'm in, if I go over 10,000 yen in costs, I have to pay more. But so this is the Museum of Fine Art. We were walking over the zoo. I should have pointed back the camera and looked over the side to see. So this should be open now. I'm still going to have to come back to this area if I want to see the garden at Shitennoji Temple. I think that's closed till Monday. I don't know why. They're having a big festival there. You think they'd have it open for that. Man. Sweating bullets. So usually these special exhibits, there's not much English and they don't want you taking any photos or video. But we'll see. It's from Detroit Institute of Art. Yeah, so this is the exhibit here. I don't think I'm allowed to take any photos inside, so I'll cut the video out here. I don't know if they have anything else to see besides the special exhibit inside the museum. I think I was already downstairs yesterday.